now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Hey, 95.1.
Daisy.
Yeah.
Watching again.
Oh, she, my man.
Evening. Can't give me the last.
Nah, my brother, how impeachment me last.
Who?
Actually, maybe I impeach now. Then in the keke should get out of here, man.
Okay, they can get me impeached.
Mbano, electing the keke should get me president impeached. Did they take it, Ramadan?
That's a very talk, eh? No, but meeting go there this coming Sunday because I want travel. I want to go Lagos.
Go Lagos, go do your business, my brother.
Okay.
Go and do your business.
Okay.
It's a welcome development.
Okay. Now I cannot go free happen for this. This time we do. Understand? Both president too, both senators too. All of them are the same.
Okay.
Anytime we money, we go favor them come. You can see that they remove a better carrying they flop each other. Okay. But the one we favor like us, they go put another carpet closer. Understand? So anybody will tell you say they want to impeach her. They deceive that person, not be me. Nothing will make them to impeach her because majority carry the vote.
Oshishi, you have given up on this country.
I am not in Nigeria.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. We are done. We'll talk about the second matter. Leave Nigeria matter alone.
Hey, you already gone.
Oh, she? Hey! Sorry. But please don't forget, this weekend is loaded. Mudiaga, first service. But tomorrow, by the special grace of God, we'll go there here live and direct. And Mudiaga go there with us. And if care is not taking us so, Uncle Bovi go also there here with us tomorrow. It's a full studio tomorrow, so no miss tomorrow edition for anything. Yes, and what we want to talk about, make a given a topic from now so that you go know why Igbo men know the sessuya. Very simple.
Very simple.
Why Igbo men know the sessuya? No be business, where they lucrative.
Oh yeah.
My name, Nasty Pastor Talking Drum, the Lord of the Mic. My Echiga Kachama, bye for now.
Daisy is my name.
Oh my hope. Oh my hope. And shall I see my
that guy's in the building. I told you I'm the life for the party. Why you guys want to try to leave that beat? Make me want to hack, super give me them size. You look Maggie. Mommy, see, I know be legal spender. I got a shitload of that legal tender. I'm thinking how we met is not coincidental. I can make a life just a little better. Have you ever been to Lagos? Have you been with a guy from my city? Hakuna Matata. I like your matako, ma titi. Le pétou est magique. Et fille, les chevaux danser. Tu es magnifique, me la qui style est grand, enchanté. Mademoiselle, c'est le moment de faire la fête, c'est le moment de faire la fête, Oh yeah, hold your neighbor, Besuma go magnet, c'est le moment de faire la fête, Oh yeah, show that, Oh yeah, show that.
Are you ready? Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people. Whether it's happening in Port Harcourt, South Sound, Nigeria, or around the world, we've got you covered. On air, online, delivering balanced news and unbiased analysis. Today, 95.1 FM.
This is Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Good evening. This is the World News on your premium talk radio. Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. I am Kimberly Ubiebo. In the headlines, River State Commissioner for Special Duties appear before State CID over alleged threats to life. Federal government sets up standing committee to tackle soot pollution in River State. Senate referring impeachment motion against President Muhammadu Buhari to committee. And on the foreign scene, Ambazonian separatists in Cameroon attack school that refused to shut down. Now the details. federal government has set up a standing committee to tackle the black soot pollution in Rivers State. The members of the committee are to work with all relevant stakeholders within the state in a bid to find a permanent solution to the pollution of the atmosphere. The Minister of Environment, Ibrahim Jibril, who made this known in Port Harcourt, said the National Environmental Standards and Regulations Enforcement has been given 2 weeks to produce a report of the status of the river's environment. Jibril said once he receives the report from NESRE, it would be transmitted to President Muhammadu Buhari for further actions. The Environment Minister used the opportunity to debunk claims that the federal government had not shown concern about the soot problem in Rivers State. Our correspondent reports that Rivers State Commissioner for Environment, Rosalyn Konya, was also present and said the state government was waiting for action. The Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, has been given the 3rd of May to conclude its defense in a case brought by the aggrieved Niger Delta Youth Group before the Federal High Court sitting in Port Harcourt. Our correspondent Uchendu Ajowo reports that Justice Uche Agumo allowed the enjoyment following the absence of the defense witnesses in court. Justice Agumo warned that unnecessary excuses that could further delay in the matter would not be tolerated, just as she promised to conclude to the case within the shortest possible time. The trial judge also declined to grant the request of 50,000 fine for the delay by counsel to the plaintiff, Chris Ojobuagu. The substance of the case by the aggrieved Niger Delta youths include alleged failure by the NDDC to implement international merchant navy training and diversion of contracts for clearing of water meant for youths in the region. The River State Commissioner for Special Duties, Emeka Onowo, has been invited for questioning at the State Criminal Investigation Department in Port Harcourt over the demolition of Ahiamakara in Ogbuna Bali. Our correspondent reports that Emeka Onowo is being interrogated over alleged threat to the life of the chairman of South-South Zone of the Arewa Conservative Forum and leader of the Northern Community in Rivers State, Alhaji Musa Saido. Alhaji Saido has in a petition to the Inspector General of Police claimed that the Special Duties Commissioner threatened his life over his stance against the demolition of Ahiamakara Market. Our correspondent reports that when Emeka Onowo reported to the state CID, he was shown the petition against him, but he denied ever making threats against Alhaji Saido. However, Commissioner for Special Duties refused to speak directly to newsmen who were waiting around the state CID. The leader of the Northern Community in Rivers State also appeared before the Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of state CID, who is investigating the matter. But apparently desperate to get legal remedy, Alhaji Musa Saido informed newsmen that he would be heading to court to seek protection.
He threatened me when I at the secretariat openly, when he said I should be killed. So police invited us, and we met both the Assistant Commissioner and the Deputy Commissioner of Police, where he's denying that he didn't say so. And police invited us today to find out the truth for an interview, where he was saying that I was against the government, against him and the government, because I was not recognized. That they have recognized what he used to do from at Slaughter, Slaughter, who happens to be the leader they recognized, who supplied the meat since when he was governor, was the local government chairman, and the governor, a minister, was supplying the meat. So for that, is the one that they recognize as the chairman of a leader of the Konausa community. I told him that we are not talking about leadership here or something. We are talking about threat. I never met him before. I didn't go to his office to go and seek for a job or look for him.
Alhaji Musa Saido was the leader of the Northern Community in Rivers State. The Rivers State government has been called upon to consider banning the operation of commercial tricycles on major roads in the capital, Port Harcourt. The call is with emphasis around Rumo Biakani in Obiakpo local government area, where commercial tricycle operators, also known as keke riders, are alleged to constitute nuisance. The campaign against the keke drivers is being driven by members of the National Union of Road Transport Workers, whose operations are also being threatened by the tricycle operators.
Problems which we are having in traffic and this keke in Transamadi area flooded the entire Port Harcourt city, causing havoc, causing traffic jams in the city of Port Harcourt. Imagine keke overtaking trucks, an industrial hub of the state.
Yeah, sometime in 2010, we know that the Rivers State government was passed a law of restricting keke not to operate in Port Harcourt city.
The keke riders flooding the entire places that the government have banned not to operate. Please, we are just calling attention of the Rivers State Urban Development and Ministry of Transport to come hold the Abal Road, Transamadi Stadium Road.
The Nigerian Senate has directed the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) to stop what it calls illegal payments without appropriations. The Senate also requested the Accountant General of the Federation to carry out a full audit of the NNPC in order to identify and punish officials responsible for the alleged illegal payments. Alternatively, the Senate asked President Muhammadu Buhari to make a formal request to the National Assembly for the approval of funds to clear arrears of subsidy-owed petrol marketers in 2019. The federal lawmakers also underscored the need for local petroleum refineries to be given maximum attention to enable them function in full capacity. The resolutions were reached based on the adoption of a report of the Committee on Public Accounts on the investigation of all subsidy monies spent by the NNPC without recourse to National Assembly. The report was presented by the chairman of the committee, Senator Matthew Urogide, and subjected to a debate before the resolutions were adopted. The Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, today failed to appear before the Senate in plenary for briefing on the arrest of Senator Dino Malayi and other security matters. Deputy Senate Leader Senator Bala Na'ala informed the chamber that IGP Idris traveled to Bauchi State with President Muhammadu Buhari and could not keep the appointment. It appeared that the IGP did not notify the Senate about his absence, and based on that, Senator Na'ala said it was wrong example if allowed to stand. After taking note of the triad of negative comments about the IGP appearing to have ignored the invitation, the Senate President urged his colleagues to agree to accept an extension of the invitation to 2nd May. Some senators have called for the impeachment of President Muhammadu Buhari over the withdrawal of $496 million from the excess crude account without the consent of the National Assembly. Standing on a motion moved by Senator Matthew Urogide of the PDP from Edo State, the opposing senators said President Buhari breached Section 80 of the 1999 Constitution, which stipulates that all government spending must be appropriated by the legislature. Senator Urogide, who is the chairman of the Senate Committee on Public Accounts, asked the Senate President to invoke Section 143 of the Constitution to initiate impeachment proceeding against President Buhari.
Do we now say the violation of the Constitution is what we have to take for the shortcoming of the executive or Mr. President? Or